Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and we are at MSI Suite at CES 2014. This is our first official video at CES this year, so pretty exciting. And I am joined by Mark Tran, a marketing specialist at MSI. So Mark, can you give us an overview of what you have here?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that we heard a lot of our fans complaining that how come you keep releasing the gaming series or Intel, motherboards, but nothing new for the AMD. So we heard all the complaints and stuff like
All the
that.
haters.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But we heard all about the fans, and we appreciate all the comments that they provide for us. So we're coming out with on CES. We're coming with the first time ever the gaming series for the AMD board, and it's for the new Kavari chipset that's coming up, the A88X. We have two form factor, which is the first one is the standard ATX, and the second one we have is the micro ATX that we are releasing soon. And our major focus for this, of course, is for the gamers, people who just like to mess around with maybe the audio boost or sometime like overclocking. We do have the overclocking ability on this one too.
And on that note, as far as hard specs for these boards, for the ATX board, we'll just go into overclocking since that's what we were talking about. We have an 8+2 phase power design over here, which is, of course, more than enough for AMD overclocking, especially with the Kavari products as far as we know. And we have pretty standard PCI Express layout. We have 3 PCIe slots on the ATX board, one X16, 2 X8, and they are Crossfire enabled, no SLI support. We have a PCI slot for anyone who wants to use that. And I think we even have a serial slot somewhere. So if you're using one of those, then you are good to go. Have these standard Dragon Fin heat sinks that MSI is doing with all their gaming boards. They're all black and red branding there. So that is our ATX board. The micro ATX board is largely the same except micro ATX. So we do have only 2 PCIe slots here because you lose one when you go to micro ATX. And the phase power design is, I believe, that might actually be a 6+2, and so it'll do basic overclocking just fine. Again, the A88 chipset from AMD on Kavari. And that wraps up our motherboards here. So we're going to move over to the new 290X video card, and it's got a
Also the 760 ITX. You want to talk about that too.
oh, and the 760 ITX. It is a pretty sweet tiny video card if you want like a Steam box or something. Just saying. So let's check those out.
Yes.
So now we are looking at the 290X Lightning, also by MSI. This is their version of fixing the reference board design, which is, of course, famous for overheating massively and producing 95 degrees Celsius, I believe, on the reference design. So here we have the 290X with 3 fans. It has individually controlled sets of fans. So the 2 larger fans on the top and the bottom holding it this way are controlled separately from the center fan, and you can set the RPMs for all of those through their software, of course. And as you can see, there is a massive heatsink with 5 heat pipes. So we've got 4 here, and then we have 1 more on the output side for heat pipes. Should resolve a lot of the cooling issues. There is actually an extra power input there, so anyone overclocking and running out of power and brushing up against that limit on the reference design, you will have that solved by this extra power input. So that is the 290X Lightning. That's about all we know about it now, other than I guess I should mention actually this backplate is pretty awesome. It mounts the huge heatsink on it, so you're not going to get any bowing of the board, of the PCB, hopefully. Other than that, it's all standard 290X, same GPU, everything that we already know. So. And finally, for our last video card here, we have a mini ITX 760 that will fit awesomely for any kind of Steam box or something like that. It has a cool fan I want to talk about. It has a blower/push fan design, so we will get a close-up on that and show you that. It has 2 gigs of RAM, pretty standard 760 specs, except it is mini ITX, so it will easily fit in like a Sugo SG08 or something like that if you're building a Steam box. Very powerful to couple with any kind of APU or low-end Intel mainstream CPU, something like that. So that wraps up all of our coverage of the MSI products here at CES 2014, including the 290X, the 760, and of course the AMD motherboards. And check out the links in the description below for the full article, and we will see you all next time. Peace.